Be the change. The blind spot. So, the blind spot. These cards made by Teal Swan she is a lady who is traveling all around the world. She's a great teacher. She's teaching self-development, teaching people how to transform their emotional, mental, physical, or spiritual pain. And so these cards are the basis of this reading here today, where in Be the Change, it's all about going within. It's all about finding your true inner self and your true inner voice. So we're gonna pick 3 cards. 3 cards for the blind spot. Let's see. I love doing these readings because they teach me a lot about things that maybe I hadn't thought about, things that I needed to put focus on, things that would be great for me to learn so that I could develop myself into a higher level. We got number 46. And we got pile number 2 with number 36. Got pile number 3 with number 32. 46, 36, and 32. Pile number 1, 46. Pile number 2, 36. Pile number 3, 32. Okay, so now that we have all these 3 piles, the 3 cards representing the piles picked out, whichever one you feel drawn to, whichever one of these cards you feel most drawn to, they should hold a message for you that you can use in your own life so that you can better your life and come farther in your life by peeking behind the curtains. This is kind of like peeking behind the roles that we play, that we always go around. We have different roles. What is going on behind the role? There you are, like the soul. This is aiming for the soul. So pile number 1. And the first question is a blind spot. What is in your blind spot? So this is going to tell us what's in our blind spot. And we're going to use different cards for that. What's in your blind spot? I'm going to use tarot cards. What's in your blind spot? We got pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and we got pile number 1, we got pile number 2, pile number 3. And why is it so important to look into what's going on in our blind spot? Like, why is that even important? Because, like, it'll tell you things about yourself that you might not have known. So what is the biggest challenge that you as a soul will face by keeping this blind spot? If you don't do anything about this, if you don't look at it, you don't do anything, what is going to be the biggest challenge for you to live your life with this blind spot the way it is? So we're going to put some cards on that and see what is the biggest challenge living with this blind spot. Put some cards. Biggest challenge by having this blind spot in your life. Pile 1, 2, and 3. Pile 1, 2, and 3. And one more. So the biggest challenge, and then what is the biggest blessing, like with having this blind spot and by working on it, what is the biggest blessing with having this blind spot and being able to see it and to release it? What is the biggest blessing? Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. Biggest blessing. Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. The cards, and we should be all done. Whoa. Star showing up. Star is showing his face, which is a good thing. Healing, which is a good thing. Biggest blessing. And how will the release of this blind spot, how will that become a blessing? And there we go. We got pile number 1 ready. Pile number 2 ready. And we do have pile number 3 ready. And I will see you all in your reading. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading. So we're talking about the blind spot. The blind spot is, it's not the cushy life that we're living. It's not about like your day-to-day life. It's not about what's happening around you in your life. This is about what's going on inside of you. So we're going to take a deep dive behind the ego, behind the roles that we play and all that stuff. And this is an attempt to go behind there, go inside. And maybe if you can probably relate to some things. If you were drawn to this pile, it's about the faulty compass. So this is about, if you were drawn to this pile, you're going to find something that resonates with you. It can be on a soul level. It can be on behalf of someone you know. It can be on behalf of yourself. So listen and see if there's anything in here that rings a bell. And if it makes you feel uncomfortable, it's a good thing. It shows that there are some areas within you that are looking for healing, looking to be heard. So we got number 46. Number 46, the faulty compass. So this is for someone out there, including also myself. This is a message to myself as well. So you are following the guidance of your emotions, your internal compass, without realizing that relative to this situation that you're asking about, or just in general in your life, your compass is faulty because it has been messed with over the years. So this can be, for example, your emotional compass has been distorted by thoughts that have been handed down to you. It can be information that we are being fed all the time. Think about it. Commercials. Oh, you get this. You're going to love it. You're going to feel so good when you get this stuff. You're going to feel so good. Now you're creating a faulty compass, because really, it's not really in your inner. It might make you feel good for to get it, but that's not what we're talking about. Information that we are fed, it's leading us to think that we need something more than we do, or that we need something that we don't need. And so in order for us to, and also with beliefs, these are also beliefs that we are conditioned to adopt. So throughout our lives, like the beliefs, like what are we supposed to believe in? What are we supposed to think? How are we supposed to think? What are we supposed to do with it? Ways the information is presented to us. So it can be like, this, like with the commercials, like the information in the commercial, even if you look at the medicine commercials, they're like hilarious. Like this is awful. Like it really is awful. But it's a great example for ways that the information is presented to us. Because you look at the commercials for the medicine, And while all the side effects are listed up on the TV, like with all the names of all the things that could go wrong when you eat this medicine. And so while that is running, you got the happiest people in the background, you have the happiest music. And so this is a message that is not coherent within itself. This is something that is pleasing to your eye, pleasing to your ears. But if you think about it, if you thought about it, it might be a horrible thing. But you're going to adopt the feeling that it's going to make you feel good anyway. Also, the faulty compass can also be experiences that we have had, and meaning that we assign to experiences. And this is a big one, I know, for a lot of people. Also, if you're like me, you come from abusive situation, then you are going to put a lot of distorted emotions to people, and yeah, people around you who might want to help you, or they might want to support you and stuff like that. And if they used to say that they did that and then they didn't, then you're going to have a whole level of emotional discord within yourself. So how can you then, after all these things, and then also like in socialization situations, so you're going to be socializing with the people, okay, so here you go, here you are, child, and now you've been raised by the family, and the family showed you what they think and what they feel like you should be and all that stuff. Now you're going out in the world, you're going to interact with the kids around there, you're going to socialize with them, you're going to be a part of a group, like find friends and all that stuff. Now these people come in and they are saying that your needs, your wants, and your personal purpose needs to make way for their wants, what they want. You want to do what they want to do, and you got to do what they need, and whatever their purpose is, to be on the playground, they wanted to do this, so now you have to do that. And then you're now in socialization, you're modifying your own internal emotional. So you want to do this because it's to avoid conflict. You don't want to be left out, you don't want to be left alone, so you go along with it so you don't be tossed out of there. So to avoid conflict, you want to feel good, we accommodate. And now our own compass is no longer reflecting our truth. You see that, how that happens? The purity that you had from the very beginning in your emotions, telling you what you love, what you need, where is your path, what are your wants, your personal purpose. So your compass is complete from the beginning. And then you can trust that inner compass when you walk through life, and it will guide you in the right way. It will take you in the right direction of your life. Then it gets distorted by all these layers of opinions, layers of beliefs, layers of other people, all that kind of stuff. And so now you're not in contact with your own personal compass anymore. In your life, it can create a lot of stuff. Like it can create a lot of stuff. And the one question you say though, like, where in your life are you allowing emotional influence to guide you? And there is also this, okay, that's the first card that came out. So this is about like, what is in your blind spot? What is something that in your life, this blind spot, it's something that you're not seeing, but it's happening in one area of your life, or this could be happening in all of your life. So where is the blind spot in your life? Where are you not going for your own emotions, but rather the things that you have been taught to do, the things that you have been trained to feel like you're supposed to feel like that. You're supposed to do these things. This is what you should do. You should do that, and you should do that. And then, so to get back into touch with your own emotions, you have to feel them, and you have to be very quiet and aware of what is going on inside so you can tune back into it, right? I know you are watching me. It's another card that came out. So what is in your blind spot? I know you are watching me. Like this was, for me, this is still something that I have to work on, because my birth father, he was a very tyrannical being, and he would be watching everything, and literally everything. So that was in my experience. It taught me to be very timid. It taught me to just sit still and don't do anything. It taught me a lot of things that I later in life have to adjust and modify. Other people can, we're all though trained with like God is watching all the time. God has been like reduced to this character up in the sky who is confirming all these beliefs and all these things that the humans are putting on us that might have been distorted our emotional compass. So this is another thing that we feel like we're being watched all the time. We have to do the right thing. And then now you're in your thoughts and you don't really feel about it anymore. I can assure you that through my journey through this life, the one thing that has gotten me to where I am today is my faith in God and my learning to trust my inner compass, finding the peace and the quietude in order to do that. So how can we, instead of being so, you are going to be able to do the right things when you follow your own emotional compass. You are going to do the right things. This is when your walk becomes the walk. This is when you start walking your walk, because you no longer do the things that the groups want you to do. You no longer do the things that you do just because you want to be socially accepted. You no longer have to do the things that you have to do just to be popular out there. Now you're going to just follow your own internal compass. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands, beauty. You put beauty into everything that you do. You're bringing beauty into your life. Like whatever you do, you bring beauty, peace, harmony, faithful, generous personality, sincere. Eight of Swords. I know you are watching me, like in the head. Like this is a character who has a good emotional compass. Like if you're imbalanced and you keep gossiping, you keep doing all that stuff and talking, judging all other people, talking about them all the time, blaming people, then you might be this one in reverse, but you're not. So you're coming out upright, and that's a good thing. That is like someone who is in tune with their own internal compass. This though is also like, it's a good thing. You're not tied up in the chair anymore. Perhaps you got over it. Like now you're not so afraid, fearful of someone watching you all the time. It takes your freedom away. You have to watch everything you do. You become completely self-conscious and observing everything that you do within. So letting go of that and learning, removing yourself from the bad situation. If you are in a relationship, like I thought, like because of my crazy upbringing, the boyfriends that I've had earlier, previous in my life, crazy. Like it was just crazy. Like first, I couldn't connect with anybody because I'd never learned to do that. Second, now I'm going to find someone equally crazy to what I knew from before because that was oddly familiar, right? So how can you, like, what kind of situation are you in your life where you have been using your faulty compass to guide you into the situation where you're at today? It can be anywhere in your life, and only you would know where it is. The bad situation in which you are caught breaking. This can be also related to, you might have to break free from friendships or relationships. This is likely when you start to also, you're going to connect to the people who you are most familiar with. If you come from dysfunction, which most of us do in one way or the other, and if you come from dysfunction, you're going to draw in dysfunction people. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody needs friends, but it can be a dysfunctional friendship, which when you're doing this kind of work, you want to sever those ties so that you can now pull in someone who is more worthy of your time, someone who is lifting you up, someone who is supportive in your endeavors, someone who actually wants to see you win, not trying to push you down, hold you down, trying to keep a track and keep an eye on whatever you do all the time. You don't need no more of those people. If you've experienced it one time, you don't need it anymore in your life. Just have to learn how to get rid of it. At this time, don't rely on the help from others. No one else can loosen these ties from the past that is limiting you. You have to go within to find these answers. This is just a cue. Like, I'm going to try to not go so deep because I love this stuff. So I always go deep, which is confusing and a little bit too much information sometimes. But this is wherever you are in your regular life. You get up, you go to work, maybe you work out a couple of times a week. Maybe you go to friends socializing. Maybe you do stuff like you have a family. Maybe you have kids, a family you have to tend to. Maybe you have no kids, you live by yourself. Maybe you are just starting a relationship. It can be anything. And in this, there you have your inner compass. Something is driving you and drawing you to choices that you make. And this is a reminder to just observe it a little bit and see what are the true motivations for the choices that you have made. And Six of Cups. This could be about projects that you're working on. Emotional projects can be considered. All if you want to do something, like something heartfelt, doing something that you feel heart connected to, do it with your intuition, put it into with your confidence, put things into motion. So find your true inner calling, find your true inner, how can you learn to nudge your way back into your true feeling of things. Creative projects, stuff, find things that you like and see how you feel about it. Find the things that makes time go by really quick when you work on it. It's always fun. Like, wow, where did time go? I don't know. I had so much fun. I didn't even notice that time just passed by. So, next question that I asked in this particular blind spot is going to be, so having this blind spot, there's some emotional compass pulling you into all kinds of weird situations, doing all kinds of weird stuff in your life. So what is the biggest challenge when you having this blind spot? What's your biggest challenge? And then we got the temple of my body, which this one doesn't look very friendly around the body at all. So this can be about like body image, which is again back to the commercials, to the magazines, to the TV, to everywhere, the movies, the stars, all these beautiful people putting all this pressure unknowingly, but to us regular Joe and Jane out there in the streets, like we are going to measure ourselves toward this, and that can absolutely have a big impact on how we feel about our body. The culture you're in, the religion that you are committed to, customs, like how customary it is to demonize sex in many ways, lacing it with guilt, which is a very, like, it's the most natural thing between men and women, and we kind of guilt it and make it something that is not okay. So we are collaborating in a way in cheapening our body. We're hiding it, we're being shamed by it, we sell it, we give it away for nothing. Also, this here giving us ourselves away for nothing, and this is a hard lesson. This caught my attention when I read this. It gave me a little bumper in my belly. Oh gosh, oh yeah, this is true. Because you kind of, even if you've never done these things with your body or went out there and sold your body or gave it away, and you never did these things, but just another way that you can do these things is to, when you accept abusive relationships in your life and refuse to respect the body of another, or when we're doing things like being too lazy to eat healthy, just too lazy to do the right things, or too lazy to go work out. So this is about, maybe it's like, again, yeah, you need the snacks, it's good for you, you need to sit there on the couch and eat the snacks. Whereas, okay, so then you're going to do it. That might be a faulty compass. Maybe your true desire would be to be out there, work out, do some stuff, or blah, blah, blah. So the faulty compass can come in many ways. And one of the things that it can trick us with is our body image. Warning, Kelpie. This card here is representing, if someone show you who they are, then believe them the first time. This particular animal, or myth, I would say is a mythic animal. They were considered beautiful shapeshifters, and just because be aware, like if someone shows you their true color, then believe them. 10 of Wands, carrying so many burdens, so overwhelmed by everything. And sometimes this can be also the faulty compass. You think that you have to carry all these burdens because you've always done it, or maybe they just taught you to do that, like, and now you're just doing it because you're used to it. And then you're carrying so many things you can't even see what is right in front of you. The High Priestess. Knowing that you don't know. Be still. More self-knowledge is needed. Reflect so that you can grow. This is part of reflection. So if you're here, then pile number 1, you are reflecting on the faulty compass that we adopt sometimes as human beings. And it's an encouragement to go within and to use your intuition. And if you're carrying all these things and you can't see what is in front of you and you can't read between the lines, you might miss out on your dream. Like the best thing that you could dream of in this world. How would you like to spend your time, your money, your assets, everything? And the 10 of Pentacles is here, and this is what you would be missing out should you choose to just stay with this. The happy ever after. If you're in an abusive relationship, then you're not going to get the happy ever after because the abuser doesn't care about that. So should you choose, now that you're aware of this this particular blind spot that we can all have in certain areas of our life, or maybe in life in general, like should you choose to do something about it and to be like, okay, now I see what you mean. Now I'm going to practice being still and going within and listening to my own emotions so that I can know that the direction that I take in my life is actually the direction that I want to take. So should you do this here, then it will lead to this. The biggest blessings that with having this blind spot and releasing it is going to be growth. You're going to grow so much. You're going to grow so much on how you feel about yourself, how you feel about your body, how you allow other people to come into your life and treat you. You're going to grow so many ways. You're going to put boundaries. You're going to do so many good things for yourself. Opportunity, acceptance, and gateway. Gateway to a new cycle. Sometimes we can be frozen by fear, and then when you're frozen by fear, now your emotional compass is completely messed up. And I know this, I was in that condition for many, many years. And I can assure you, and I say it all the time, that don't make decisions when you're in fear. They're not good decisions. Don't do it. When you're in fear, don't make decisions. Sometimes, though, we can be so frozen by fear, it can be hidden behind so many layers of the things that we think we're supposed to do that you don't even remember it anymore. So this might be an encouragement to go really deep and figure out how do you really feel on the bottom of yourself. And there's nothing dangerous by going there. It's just going to dissolve. You just have to feel it like a little bit, and then it'll dissolve on you and disappear. Growth is about taking responsibility for your life, moving beyond your fears and your limitations to a greater sense of self. If I could pray that you get anything out of this reading here today, pile number 1, it would be that you get a greater sense of self, that you can stand up a little bit more strongly within yourself, that you can rise up to the occasion a little bit more easily, that you can go away from situation that is not serving you and live in your own truth. That would be my prayer. 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups. Full peace, harmony, bliss. This is the family that you want. Oh, there's the rainbow. You're all together, holding hands. Content. The sun, okay. The sun, the happiest card in the tarot. Happiness, happiness. Breaking through, breakthroughs. This is breakthrough. So this might be your breakthrough. Breakthrough, radiance, happiness, insight. Sometimes you don't need anything else than just a little bit of information, and you'll be like, dang, I do that. Okay, yeah, okay. And now you know it. What you're aware of, you can change it. And once you put awareness to it, it won't have power over you anymore. And then we got the King of Pentacles, building yourself up, listening to your heart, not others. Wealth. This is about being wealthy. This is about management skills. This is about having discipline. Maybe you're a businessman, businesswoman. This is about taking charge, definitely taking charge of your life. Like this faulty compass over here, then you're running around on other people's tune. You're singing other people's songs. This one here, you're singing your own song, and your own song is going to bring you all the sunshine, the happiness, the glory, and everything that you want in your life. And you are discovering truth. Discovering truth. You stand in the light of truth. And this is perfect. With a faulty compass, you stand in the light of truth. The truth is already within yourself. It's already within you. So whatever faulty layers is above your own truth is what you want to uncover. So you can come back into your own authentic truth. This is where you're going to find ease in your life. This is where you're going to be able to listen to your heart, not others. Your own heart. You're going to be able to listen to the wisdom within. And you're going to be able to respond from an authentic place inside of yourself. Pile number 1. Faulty compass. How can you find your true emotional magic within yourself? And that was your reading. The beautiful light in me. It honors, it loves, and it respects the same beautiful light in you. And until next time, pile number 1, namaste. Pile number 2, welcome to your reading. First of all, I will say congratulations, or not, kudos to you for being here on this reading. Kudos to you for clicking on this post. This stuff that I'm talking about here is the blind spot. This is not the fun stuff. This is not the oh my gosh, who are you going to meet next? Are they thinking about you? What you going to do? Where are you going to go? All that stuff. This is not about that. This particular blind spot reading here is about you and how you are truly feeling on your inside. What is going on your inside? This is not about the ego. It's not about the things that you think you should be or who you think you are and all that. This is about you. This is about going within, going through the ego and beyond there, behind there. Like, who are you on the inside? And this is the part where most humans try and run away from their whole life. They don't want to go there. Understandably enough, because it can be really hard to be a human on planet Earth. It's difficult. So kudos to you, pile number 2. You are here. And this one particular 36, this card is about negative reinforcement patterns. And these are just as much messages to myself. This is why I love them, because I love going within. This is where I have found my freedom. Going within and learning about these things is liberation. So, negative reinforcement patterns. And it's encouraging us to stop doing the things that you don't want to do, that are nothing more than a way to avoid negative consequences. Okay. How many times in your life did you say yes to something because you didn't want to feel guilty? How many times in your life did you say, yes, I'll be there, even though you knew up front that this is going to be horrible? How many times have you done things and said yes to things that you definitely did not want to do, and you find yourself in all kinds of creepy situations afterwards? So this is about that kind of negative reinforcement pattern. So stop doing the things that you don't want to do, that are nothing more than a way to avoid negative consequences. So what is it that I do want? This is what we want to focus on. What is it that you do want? What do you want? So some athletes, for example, they are motivated by not losing. Okay, I'm not going to lose this game. I am going to go out there and I'm not going to lose. I am not losing. And then they're usually not the greatest athletes, because their motivation comes from a fear of lack. And so other athletes, they are like, I want to go out there and I want to be winning, because I love feeling that sensation in my whole self. When I'm winning, it makes me feel so good and it makes me feel all these things. And so that's the motivation. And these people are usually the best at what they do. Also, this year, negative reinforcement patterns. It can relate to one situation, or maybe this is about your life in general. So you're doing what you are doing in order to avoid something that you don't want, instead of doing what you are doing as to get something that you do want. So sometimes the avoidance of what we don't want is keeping us away from what we do want, because you're trying to run away from something instead of focusing your energy going towards something. Sometimes I hear your voice. Negative reinforcement patterns. Yeah. This is a big one. Also, I talk about it a lot, but it made a big impact on my life, and it's the basis of why I'm doing these readings. It's because if you have abusive parents or you have abusive people around you in your life, anywhere in your life, like these voices that come with those people, and the demands and the belittlements, the shame, the guilt, the sadness, the horror, whatever they put on you, like this voice is going to be something that might pop up in your life sometimes. Sometimes these voices are the reason why you don't do, like why you're trying to run away from there instead of going towards what you do want. Sometimes I can hear your voice, like this can be negative voices. Maybe as a thought here, like perhaps this can be the voice of the greater good, like the voice of what is good. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? And now you can make your "this is what I want to do" voice. And that voice, you can hear it all day long if you want to. Sometimes I hear your voice. Whenever you hear that voice that you don't want to hear it, then put some words into "I do want this" voice. It can be your own voice. It can be the voice of someone you love. It can be the voice of someone you admire. And it can be motivating, something that gets you out of the funk, something that pulls you towards the things that you actually do want. Eight of Pentacles, working hard over time. And this card said, you might have to make decisions and choices and actions that will inconvenience others. Sometimes the choices that you want to make because what you do want is going to be not what they want you to do, not what the voice wants you to do. So sometimes what you do want will take you in a different direction. And that's okay. You are not here to please everybody, but you are here to please yourself and figure out what is it that your soul wants. What is your authentic path here on this planet Earth? How can you find your inner truth, your inner voice, and go with that? So this is an encouragement to stay on course and keep working on what you're working on. Also, things don't just happen overnight. Like Eight of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, Eight of Wands, you probably have to make the choices. So with this here, this is excellence. This is taking time to work on your craft so that your craft is going to be this is happening because trial and error. You're going to be masterful at something because trial and error. You might have to make unpopular choices and run away from things, or run towards the things that you want, the work that you have put in and everything. So excellence. Also, this is an important to when you are on your journey here, like positive. This is about negative reinforcement patterns. So maybe you keep that job because this craft that you've been working on for so long is like not taking you where you want it to take, and you need the money, so you're still working the job, but this is what you really want to do. And sometimes you hear the voice of your parents to say you got to have a real job, you got to do something real with your life and stuff like that. And taking action, doing the things that you need to do. The devil. Devil is the negative reinforcement patterns. The devil is fear. The devil is anger. The devil is despair. The devil is envy. The devil is like all these things that is so common out there, like all the fear and all that stuff. It's not of God. Like God is love. God is compassion. God is kindness. God is good. And if those are not things that are in your vicinity, then it's not of God. It's of the negative, right? So the devil is that negative mindset, the negative mind patterns, the negativity to keep recycling that negativity. That's the devil. The devil won't encourage you to keep working on your craft. The devil won't encourage you to go away from the things that you know that they want you to do. You move towards your own truth. The devil is not going to say that. The devil is going to say, do what they tell you to do, because you're not going to be happy there. And if you're not happy there, you're not going to take out your purpose. And if you don't take out your purpose, then people are going to be more fearful, or they're going to be more scattered. Magnetism. Also, this card can be a developing a magnetism. So instead of reinforcing, like doing stuff that you don't want to do, now you're going to do all the stuff that you do want to do. When you start doing the things that you do want to do, you're going to be like a magnet to the things that you do want to do. So this is about unexpected things coming in your way. This is increasing your powers in the world. That the devil wants all the power in the world, or the worldly things, and so you're going to get those things. And you have to also believe that you are worthy of them. If they always told you that this is not for you, you can't have that, you're not good enough for that, or this is not for you, you're too stupid for that, or whatever they said, whatever they lied about, basically. So here you are doing it. So this is what is in the blind spot. In the blind spot is a tendency in your life somewhere to work away from the things that you don't want, instead of working towards the things that you do want. And you might have some voices that are in there telling you to, you can hear these voices still. What is the biggest challenge for you with having this blind spot? Pile number 2. The biggest challenge with having this blind spot is that you forget about yourself. Negative reinforcement patterns, like people want you to run around and do everything that they want you to do. Like they want you to take care of their needs or their business or do stuff for them, make them feel good. Like this is the world that we live in. Click on my picture, like my post, share my post, do my thing, my thing, my thing. Forgetting oneself. And so if you don't take into consideration like that you are actually doing these things in your life, then you can be a victim of also forgetting about yourself. This is numbing our identity. Numbing our identity to go by the sound of a music that was never our own. So forgetting oneself, forgetting your own needs, your own wants, what you do want in your life. Hydra, regeneration. This is about going to the source of the problem. The source of the problems might be the people who taught you to do their bidding all the time. That might be the source. The source might be your own voice that you are telling yourself that you can't have that, or you continue with the voices. This is a reminder to deal with this issue now. Reject gossip and look for the source of a problem. Forgetting oneself, then you're going to look outside, you're going to do everything outside. Bringing yourself inside, that's the source of the problem. It's on your inside, which means that you don't have to go anywhere to fix it. You don't need anyone's approval to fix it. You don't need any money to fix it. You don't need anything to fix it. You just need to sit down with yourself and take that time out in your life to go within, to feel. What do you want? Write the list. This is what I do want. I do want this. I do want this. I do want this. And you write it out. 8 of Cups. 8 of Cups. Yep, 8 of Cups. Whatever you have poured, all of your love, all of your emotions, all of your affection, lots of time, energy, whatever you have poured all this into, you might have to step away from it. It is time to step away from it, to move away from it if it's not giving you back, and you've poured and you poured and you poured everything into it. That's what you don't want. You don't want to pour into an empty, never filling cup, because it's never going to fill up. You have to go within and remember yourself so you can fill up your own cup and walk away from all the drainage in your life. Walk away from that, and you're going to be walking towards the sun. The biggest challenge with having this blind spot is to walk away from the things that doesn't serve you, because you're already so accustomed to being where you don't have to be, or you shouldn't be, or where people just told you had to be. And you're so used to doing these things that it can be difficult to get out of. The sun is here reminding you that should you take the time out, you will be in a much better place afterwards. And not only the sun, but you also got the Fool to take that leap of faith for yourself. Take the leap of faith, like new adventure. Say goodbye to normalcy and the routine. Trust your instincts. Trust your intuition. How about the biggest blessing? So with having this blind spot, walking away, walking to, so you're more so in your life. Pile number 2, in your life, you are more focused on getting away from the things that you don't want in your life instead of walking towards the things that you do want in your life. It could be one area of your life, it can be several areas of your life, or it can be just the way you live your life in general. Forgetting oneself. So what if you do the work and you sit down with yourself, you go within and you realize this pattern in your life? You walk away from the things that you are caught up in that doesn't serve you any longer. You walk away from them and you're going to walk towards new adventures, happiness, joy, and bliss. The biggest blessing by having this blind spot is that you can release it, okay? You can release it. And here is the inner child, purity, inner child, innocence, freedom, lots of freedom. If you're caught up in these things, that you keep doing the things that you don't want to do just because you think you have to, or because you always just was told that, it doesn't really matter even why you do it. It's just unhealthy. So just stop doing it. This inner child, the inner child is longing for days when responsibilities were few and your heart was free to dream and play. Forgive yourself and others. Childhood emotional scars. And then we pile on layers of armor to protect the child within. Protecting the child within too much. Now you're going to run around away from the things that you don't want. Now is the time to sit down with yourself and face that child within. Go beyond the blockages and beyond the protection that you put around yourself along your life, and go in there so that you can find your freedom. I promise you, going through these things, finding within, is going to bring out a completely different type of freedom. And now you're going to remember, what do you want? I do want this. I do want this. I do want this. I do want this. This I do want. This I definitely do want. Distant thunder, clear the air. Probably in your life, pile number 2, there is a dramatic purification, a renewal, and a healing that is occurring on many levels in your life. At this time, don't fear the chaos. It's going to shake things up a little bit. It will clear out clutter, release the old, release situations and people who don't empower you. Be open to change. And when you be open to change, there's going to be a little disturbances, because now you're going away from who you used to be. They can't run over you anymore. They can't trample on you anymore. They can't use you as the doormat anymore, because you're leveling up and you're going within, finding your own voice. And so just be aware that when you do this work, there might be a little disturbances, which you're going to be very capable of handling and being okay with. Yep, and the hermit. Biggest blessing here. Okay, go within. Find some time to yourself wherever you can in your life. I understand life is busy. You might have kids. You might have a job, 2 jobs. There might be many things. You might be in a relationship where they don't give you any freedom. You don't get any time to yourself. There can be so many things going on in our life. This is an encouragement to find the time anyway. The hermit is all about going within, being still enough so that you can hear your own voice, so you can hear your inner feelings, like how you feel about things. And you need it to be quiet, like being introspective, going into solitude, finding your inner stillness, your inner voice. 6 of Cups. Nostalgia. Thinking back on the days before, instead of being nostalgic about it or sad about it. Fond memories, kindness, playfulness. Bring out the inner child. Like if you can bring out the inner child by being nostalgic, going through some things that happened to you before in life, remembering these things, bringing that back in. Like this might be something that you do want. I do want this. I do want this. I don't want this, and I don't want this. And these things that you don't want, you know. Remembering yourself. I do want this. I do want this. And I do want this. And 4 of Pentacles. can be financial insecurity, scarcity mindset, possessiveness. So if you're in a situation that you need to get out of, then it can be scary sometimes if you don't have the finances yet, or you think you don't have what you need to get out of the situation. You don't have to get out of the situation at first. You just need to find that stillness and the quiet time with yourself, so you can go within and remember yourself again. So you can find that space within yourself, and you can start doing the work without having to have this stop you. Also, there are many different ways that you can go about finding some kind of a balance in your life if you need to move on from something. And you trust God, you do the work, and you will find the way. Things will happen in a way that will get you where you need to be. Pile number 2, kudos to you for being here, going within, doing this, the hard work, being human here on planet Earth, and all these misunderstandings that we live by sometimes. No more negative reinforcement patterns. Now, from now on and out, we're only going to do this because I do want this. I do want this, and I do want this. Pile number 2, that was your reading. The beautiful light in me, it honors, it loves, and it respects the same beautiful light in you. And until next time, namaste. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. Pile number 3, this is a blind spot reading. So we're not going to talk about all the cushy things here. We're not going to talk about all the life out there. This is about breaking through the ego and going within. So kudos to you for clicking on this video. And if you're still here now that you know that we're going to go within, it can get uncomfortable sometimes. Often I find when I am close to a breakthrough in my life, it feels uncomfortable for a little bit. And I sit there with the uncomfort and I just let it be. And then eventually it'll transform into a brighter, better understanding of something. Pile number 3, you got drawn to judgment and the card of number 32. So using awareness, patience, and bravery to get outside of your attachment to what is right or wrong, good or bad, is critical so that you can understand instead of judge. It's all about understanding instead of judging. We run through life sometimes so fast, and we just judge it on the spot, and we don't think more about it. It's right or wrong, it's this or that, it's black and white, and it's this and this. And so understanding instead of judging. When you judge something, pile number 3, you push it away. Also, if you have nothing nice to say nothing at all. This advice, I bet you have heard it. I've heard it. I know they were really good at enforcing that belief on me, especially also because there was a lot of not nice things to say. So if I didn't have any of those things to say, then don't say anything at all. And this is a tricky saying because it is unpractical, it's not useful, and it puts a muzzle on a part of you that needs your attention and care. So by never saying anything negative, never sharing a negative experience, never saying it because you experienced it like this or that, and being negative, you're putting a muzzle on it, because everything that you experience in life is not going to be positive and roses and rainbows and unicorns and all that. So putting a muzzle on is not what we want to do. We want to be able to be open, and becoming aware of your own judgments will open the door for growth. Sharing your honest opinion or experience, even if it's not positive, it will allow others an opportunity to grow. And this happens situations, if you give a colleague all the praise, but you didn't say what they really needed to do, then you take away from them an opportunity to grow. And maybe you're making assumptions like, oh, she's so grumpy today, she's probably on her period. But she wasn't grumpy. She's grumpy, but that's not why she's grumpy. She's grumpy because you said something to her that was upsetting to her. So we make judgments all the time. We make assumptions all the time. maybe in your world at this time, are you using negative judgment? Or is your negative judgment making it impossible to get what you want? I know more than you think. So judgment, I know more than you think. So this might be, maybe you already are thinking about these things. You have already been thinking about these right and wrong and black and white, and you understand that there are many layers to everything, and there's different sides to the story. There's different experiences, there's different reasonings, all that stuff. So perhaps you have already, you know even more than what you think. You know more than what people think, and other people might know more than what you think too. And so by you not saying it, they might already know it, and then they know that you didn't say it. So there can be a lot of things going on with the judgments. Finding understanding, though, not being so caught up in, yeah, I like this is the right thing to do, that's wrong, this is right, that's wrong. Many things can be right, many things can be wrong for different reasons. Death card. Death card is one of my favorite cards in the tarot. It's transformation. And this is about, do not upset the current river of your life. Here is the change, the end of what is causing obstacles. So do not oppose the current. This is part of your current. You're being here, you thinking about this judgment thing. Maybe you're judging something too harsh, that you don't want to go there because of this and that. And maybe it could give you some great pleasure to go there should you choose to do that. Maybe you're judging it too hard over there. You don't want that job because if you do that job, you're judging it in this and this and this way. But if you did the job, then this and this and this positive would happen if you understood it a little bit differently. So life can be full of surprises. This is an encouragement to go with the flow and to take in the new lessons and the new informations that you're going to get everywhere around you, because you're looking for it. You're looking for something different. You're looking for a change. 8 of Cups. 8 of Cups. Your greatness, pile number 3. It may be measured by the strength with which you know how to walk away from the accumulations of the past. So perhaps also like judging your past as only bad will make you depressed, it will make you this and that. Judging your past by, yeah, it was bad, but you can also see the positive. Maybe you had a good lesson, it taught you a lot of valuable lessons, stuff like that. But this is an encouragement also to walk away from the accumulations of the past. So leaving whatever is residue you have still going on within yourself. Judging yourself, maybe you're judging yourself too harsh because you're not normal anymore because you had so many things going on in the past, and now you can't really function with these people over there, and that judgment will take you out maybe of feeling togetherness with people. There's different judgments that we can do, and we judge ourselves. We are the most harmful judges of ourselves almost constantly. So this is why I say be your own best friend, because if you're your own best friend, you're going to talk nicely to yourself, you're going to be encouraging, you're going to be kind, you're going to be uplifting, and you're going to do things that you would do for a good friend. So be that to yourself and walk away from anything else that no longer serves you. Temperance, balance, transmuting things into beautiful things, improvement of body, mind, and psyche. If you want to improve your mind, body, and your soul, it requires a balance of virtues. So rightness, righteousness, compass, commitment, moderation in all capacity, using balance to bring healing into this world. Maybe someone judged you, like you're a healer. Here you are a healer and you know how to help people, you know how to heal people. And then the people over there, they judge you, and now you judge yourself like, oh, they're a witch, or they're like of the devil because they heal people, they help people. Oh, okay. And you're over here. Well, I didn't know there was anything wrong with that. I mean, Jesus healed people. He wasn't a witch or he wasn't the devil. And so how can it be so different? But you're going to maybe judge yourself and put a lid on what you could accomplish because of the judgments over there, because now you're judging yourself with that. So the judgments can come out in our life in very different ways. So this is what is currently in your blind spot. If you put a little focus on this here, you will help yourself. Your future self is going to be very happy that you did. The biggest challenge with having this blind spot of being in like a judgment, gilded regret, cage of our memories, the cage of our memories. Memories floating underwater. It's safe there, it's warm there, murky. The options that we missed, the things that we lost, the chances that we fled. Living in the past. This is about living in the past, judging yourself for not being able to stand up for yourself, judging yourself for not being able to take that opportunity, judging yourself for so many things that we cannot do anything about it. It's in the past. This is the encouragement to have the courage and the bravery to leave all those past behind, to walk away from the accumulations of the past. This is the biggest problem with having these judgments, because you're judging yourself mostly here in your own life. Discipline. Okay, a great leader must have discipline. I'm learning about this these days. So even though it sucks sometimes, have to go up early, get up early, do all those boring things that are like healthy and good for you, and do all that and do it every time, every day. It's tedious work, but everything that is great, everything that is worthwhile will take time to do it. So this is about discipline. Pile number 3. How can you find some more discipline in your life? There's a time to go solo, and there is a time to work in groups to achieve goals. Use your will to complete the difficult task. Use your will to complete things. Develop this self-discipline and this leadership. Embody the change that you wish to see. So whatever change you wish to see, maybe you judge other people, they are so and so, they are this and this and this. Well, whatever you judge in them, perhaps you have some of it in yourself, and those are the changes that you can make so that you can become the change that you wish to see. Discipline. Everything great that you're going to do with your life is going to take discipline. 8 of Swords. This girl here, if she had the discipline, she could just cut herself out of there and take off the blindfold. She could cut these bonds and she would be free from it. But she's not. So she's maybe in gilded regret. Perhaps she's in the past still. She's thinking about everything from the past. She didn't find the courage yet to walk away from all the accumulations of the past. So she's still standing there. And this is the problem. This is the biggest challenge with having this blind spot, is that you get stuck there. You get stuck there in your own head, in your own experience. And it's like this. You could easily be free from it, but you choose to stay there. 2 of Swords, same. Blindfold on both of these. Maybe you cannot see your own worth because your past told you that you weren't worthy. Maybe you cannot see your own beauty because the past told you that you were ugly. Perhaps you cannot see your own things. Perhaps you're judging yourself so harshly because that's how you were judged earlier in your life. Perhaps you're judging other people harshly because you are judging yourself harshly. 2 of Swords. By refusing to budge. Nope, not doing that. By refusing to budge, you have blinded yourself to the truth of a difficult situation. And maybe you're not budging because your past was terrible. It was horrible there. And I understand, yes, the past can be horrible. My past was horrible too. And I was sitting there like this. I was doing that for years and decades. And I would still do it if I didn't take it up with myself and see how I was judging myself and my past. I would have never become free of it. And I was sitting there in my own pain, my own suffering for years and decades. And you can do that if you want to, but life really is no fun when you live in that mind space. So this is an encouragement to do whatever you can to take that blindfold off so you can see things clearly and get out of these situations that you have put yourself in. Have you shut off your emotions so you're not able to feel anymore? Are you only using logic, or maybe you're refusing to use logic? And so what is going on? How can you make choices? Also listen to your intuition, listen to your emotional self, and make choices without This is your choice. You have to make the choice to get out of this funk. And the Seven of Pentacles. Time for a break. Step away from a project. Maybe you've been working on a project for a long, long time. Step away from it. Get some rest. Take some time out. You are worthy. This is the new. This is before judging yourself for everything that was just wrong. Trying to not happen, and I'm not going to get into another abusive situation, so I'm going to go over there. I'm not going to get into another bad friendship that they're going to stab me, so I'm going to go be by myself. I'm not going to get into. And so running away from the things, judging them for what they are, understanding. How can you find understanding instead? How can you find understanding? How can you share your honest opinion and experience, even when it's not positive? How can you share it? Because it's yours to share. Take a break. Biggest challenge is to, you get stuck in this stuff. You get stuck in all these judgments. You get stuck in there, and then you're stuck. Should you choose to see this and acknowledge this, perhaps you're so hard-headed that you're not going to admit it. No, I'm not doing that. I am not. This is not me. Maybe you clicked on the video, you clicked it right off before you could hear any of this, because you are not budging, not yet. When you decide to start budging, that's when your life is going to start to improve. And when you do that, the Frog Clan is here to cheer you on. And the Frog Clan, that's no joke. Like, the Frog Clan is where you want to be. It's the Frog Clan. This is about cleansing, releasing, and healing. Cleansing all those faulty judgments. Releasing all these heavy burdens. Healing, bringing back the sweetness, the kindness, the goodness of life. It only happens with the Frog Clan. The Frog Clan is it. So this is like card is saying, though, that we are working against our own nature and allowing past worries to build. High stress. Everything gets magnified. Like, when you're in a high stress, everything gets magnified. This is a reminder to cry, release, heal. Whatever you feel, like, allow it to flow through you. Allow it to be. You're a human being. You're alive. Like, you're allowed to be alive. You're leaving behind all these terrible things from the past. This is improving your mind, body, and soul. By doing the right things, being right to yourself, be your own best friend, talk nicely to yourself, be kind to yourself, lift yourself up, do nice things for yourself. Gilded regret, living in the past, all those memories in the past, all those memories, all that stuff, getting stuck in your head. You don't want to be there. You want to get out of that. Make the choice today. Take a break. Think about it. Feel about it. Take a pause so that you can get out of this heaviness. Frog Clan is here, always at our disposal. Mystic Healer. Healing energy flows through you, and that is always true. Sometimes we can't feel it. Sometimes we're just closed off from it. And sometimes we allow it to come flowing through us freely, which is a beautiful thing, because it is always available to us. This healthy, healing, beautiful, inner and outer healing on all levels, all situation, relationships, physical challenges, transforming inner grievances. Here it is again, like releasing, cleansing, healing. Perhaps you need to grieve that old past that you had. Perhaps you have to grieve that relationship that you wasted a lot of time in it. Perhaps you have to grieve these scenarios that you put yourself in because you judged yourself. You weren't worthy of anything better than that. So you settled for this over there and you were miserable there. Perhaps it's time to forgive and release and cry for these choices that you made when you didn't know any better. Forgive yourself for the choices that you make when you don't know any better. Healing energy flows through you, and this is your confirmation that you might be in the beginning of this process. And if you're in the beginning of this process, my heart goes out to you. I can tell you right now that I've been through it, and you are worthy, and you can do it. And there is freedom on the other side, should you choose to go through it. 3 of Wands. expanding your horizon. Perhaps you've been so stuck up here, thinking about the past, couldn't even think 5 minutes ahead of time or plan things or see through it or see beyond it. You're expanding your horizon. You're seeing progress. You're building your self-confidence so you can be on top of this mountain and look out and have confidence in your abilities, confidence in what you can do, confidence if you know how resilient your body is, how strong your mind is, how beautifully put together your compass, your emotions are, how magnificent you are just as a person, as a human being here on this planet. You would have all the self-confidence, all of it, and wouldn't allow any of this old judgment to hold you back. Strength, beautiful. Strength card. This is inner strength. This is taking back your inner control, your restraint. Like you're not falling for all that bull crap anymore. If you always were a doormat, they're going to come back and try to use it again. But now you're not standing for it. You found your inner strength and you're going to set boundaries. You're going to do it nicely, but firmly. And you're going to do it in a way that you don't build up your own karma. You don't have to be a peach about it. You can just be quietly, assertively, bye bye. Cut the cord quietly, just let it to the side. You no longer allow these things to come in and treat you like you used to treat yourself. Now you're in a new thing. Now you're healing on all levels. You are worthy. You are beautiful. You can do these things if you want to. And you are all these things. You are a beautiful human being out there. Pile number 3. My heart goes out to you. My support goes out to you. I know this inner work is very difficult to do, but I also know that it's the most rewarding thing that you can ever gift yourself with while you are here on planet Earth. And the King of Swords. Mental adeptness, learning how to get out of this funk. Like 8 of Swords, completely wrapped up in your own head, all spinning around with all the judgments, all the horror stories, all that stuff. You made a choice. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to look at this in a different way. I'm going to do this in a different way. Hanging out with the frogs for a little bit. Good choice. Healing from within. King of Swords. This is mental adeptness. You have gone through a lot. Now you're able to emotional restraint. You have confidence. You have your emotional connection so that you don't lash out, you don't go freak out on people. You are in control of how you respond to the things that are happening around you. You have the capability to plan things out, to think things through. You are logical, you are strategic, you're insightful, you're a quick learner, well respected, and a problem solver. And these are all great cards, pile number 3. And if you are still here, then use this as a reminder to always put positive judgments on yourself. Build yourself up. The world is harsh enough as it is. And the beautiful light in me, it honors, it loves, and it respects the same beautiful light in you. And until next time, namaste.